stories that matter to you. This is Fox 40 News at 6.
Tonight on Fox 40 News, the latest job report is out. It's the first one of Trump's second presidency, and after weeks of economic upheaval over the president's new policies, where the economy sits. Plus, a sigh of relief for one Binghamton family as they were gifted a new roof this morning, what it means for them. And a pause-on approach to a special kind of lesson at one Southern Tier Elementary School. Fox 40 News starts right now. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Brooke Warpus. We begin tonight as the White House is touting today's latest job report, even as economists say the numbers weren't as high as expected. Mark Meredith is in Washington with the latest.
Stocks opening Friday following the Labor Department's latest jobs report, the first covering President Trump's second term. In February, employers adding 151,000 jobs, unemployment ticking up to 4.1%.
These are fantastic numbers.
But economists had forecasted employers would add more and say the numbers indicate it's still a difficult landscape.
It's the small businesses that have gotten hit hardest here, and that's because inflation and high interest rates are really tough for businesses to deal with.
It's unclear how much Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency and the Trump administration's mass firings, buyouts, and hiring freezes could be playing a role. The report is based on surveys from the second week of February, and the full scope of the economic fallout may not be clear until spring.
I think Musk and the Doge are still intent on taking a wrecking ball to the federal government.
There'll always be changes and adjustments, and sometimes you have to go around the wall instead of through it.
Ahead of Friday's jobs report, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the financial markets and economy overall have become too reliant on government spending and that a, quote, detox period is to be expected.
Look, it's not linear. It's an organic process.
Economists are also looking at the tariffs impacting trade between Canada, Mexico, and China with the United States. Economists say there's still a similar wait-and-see approach to see how they may impact the job market. In Washington, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
Democratic attorneys general from several states and D.C. are suing the Trump administration over the government's layoff of thousands of federal employees. They say the layoffs are inflicting economic harm on their states. They say in addition to the harm the layoffs are causing the employees themselves, the mass terminations are costing their state's tax revenue. They estimate that for D.C. alone, the administration's firing of probationary employees will cost millions of dollars in lost annual income tax revenue. One person is dead after a motor vehicle crash Thursday night. State police say on March 6th at approximately 9:35 p.m. they responded to a fatal crash in the 4100 block of State Route 26 in the town of Nanticoke. They have found that a Ford pickup truck had crashed with the driver pinned underneath the tire. It was determined the driver was already deceased by the time first responders arrived. The driver is identified as 22-year-old Setha Menta, of Lyle. Binghamton police are investigating details surrounding a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police responded to a call at about 11:15 this afternoon for reports of a man with a gunshot wound near Robinson Street and Garden Ave. Officers say a 53-year-old man shot himself in the left hand while unloading a firearm at a private residence. The injuries are non-life-threatening. The man was taken to a local hospital for treatment. Authorities are investigating the incident and request anyone with information to contact them at 607-772-7080. One family in Binghamton will now sleep soundly under a brand new roof thanks to the Impact Project. The Impact Project helps families maintain and increase equity in their homes and stabilize their housing situation through rehab and repair projects. They also help with major repairs as well as handicapped accessibility so that the owner can keep up with their home maintenance on their own. Today, they teamed up with First Choice Roofing, Lowe's, Burt Adams Disposal, Botnick Chevrolet, and Cornell Cooperative Extension to put a new roof on the home of the Torres family.
My roof is in bad shape. They're literally saving my house with the work they're doing now. It was that bad. It means everything to me. They're saving my home, and I can, I don't have to stress over, the house and the roof caving in, and I'm providing a safe environment for my family. And, So it's really, it's a big load off my worry.
Well, happy Friday, a beautiful day to wrap up our work week. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Mark Torello as he brings us our first look into our weekend weather forecast. Mark?
Yeah, nice to see all that sunshine, blue sky for this afternoon, but temperature readings running in the 30s. You ain't seen nothing yet. We've got a big warm up as we go into next week. In the meantime, we're still holding on to some clear sky across the southern tier of New York. You look further off to the north, we find a few snow showers. You look further off to the west, we have increasing clouds. The clouds will tend to lower and thicken for this evening, and as we go through the overnight for tonight, some of that snow shower activity that you see in the distance, that will tend to reach out to us mainly when people are sleeping for tonight. 31 right now in Utica, 32 degrees in Binghamton, Scranton at 41, 39 degrees in Elmira. There's a look at the hour-by-hour forecast for tonight. A mostly cloudy sky, some developing snow showers for the overnight period, and temperature readings running in the upper 20s and low 30s. We will talk about a chilly weekend and then a big-time warm-up heading into next week. All those details in just a few minutes straight ahead. Brooke, to you.
All right, thanks for that update, Mark. 3 Huskies visited Charles F. Johnson Elementary today, bringing a first paw experience to the history of sled dog racing. Fox 40's Dana Robinson brings us that story.
Thanks, Brooke. Students in Yakabeli's class met the 3 Huskies, Coda, Kai, and the youngest addition, Drifter, helping to teach the class about the Iditarod sled dog race in Alaska. The race was established in the 1970s along a trail used by Native American tribes in Alaska, a trail spanning close to 1,000 miles, which teams of dogs and their sled drivers venture each year. Yakabeli has been teaching about the Iditarod in different classes for 8 years, teaming up with a local charity bringing the Huskies in to educate the students.
Not only am I teaching about the event, we're also doing art projects related to it. We have puppets, we did a little puppet show, we do music and movement. We're also doing reading, so we read a book about the Iditarod. Children love animals. They love dogs in particular, so anytime you're talking about animals, you're always going to have the kids' attention.
The main reason that I wanted to have Drifter was actually a teaching aid to help teach kids a little bit more about the history, because if we don't teach it and we don't give them some insight, we'll lose it, and we don't want to lose that respect.
At 10, I'll have more about what the students learned and how Yakabeli hopes the event sparks a greater appreciation of history as a whole. Brooke, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. Well, from snow and ice to ice cream, Jones Humdinger Ice Cream opens its doors early this year, welcoming customers with open cones. Known for its homemade ice cream, Humdinger has been in business since 1957, located at 1441 Upper Front Street. As of right now, Humdinger will be open 7 days a week from noon to 8, offering a drive-up option on those colder days, as well as the traditional walk-up. There will also be a food truck out back serving up some savory dishes throughout the season.
Everyone gets antsy and everyone's always ready, and we worked hard and we were ready. It was a little hard getting ice cream mix because we do make our own ice cream, obviously, and you know, they weren't expecting it. We gave them a heads up, they did their best, and they got me what they could. So we don't have all our flavors yet. I'm about 10 flavors shy of having everything, including my sherbets.
And we'll tell you more about what's new this year at Jones Humdinger tonight at 10. State Senator Leah Webb announces her 3rd annual menstrual product drive has begun. The drive runs through March 28th in efforts to address the need for supplies in Broome, Cortland, and Tompkins counties. Pads, tampons, wipes, and more can be dropped off at locations in 3 counties. We do have those locations on our website. That's WICZ.com. The Broome County Sheriff's Office says 4 new recruits joined the office's law enforcement division today. Brandon Kilpatrick, Gabriella Ruark, Richard Parsons, and Cameron Bobbier were sworn in today. The 4 will begin training at the Law Enforcement Academy in the coming weeks. Sheriff Axel released a statement saying in part, quote, "In the coming weeks, they will experience some of the most grueling and intensive law enforcement training available in New York State, but it will provide them with the knowledge and skills necessary to help keep themselves and our citizens safe." Tonight, a local hero will be recognized. The Broome County Firefighters Association is set to present its prestigious Firefighter of the Year Award. The William Grace Firefighter of the Year Award recognizes firefighters for their exceptional service, acts of bravery, life-saving actions. The award will also highlight the vital roles that firefighters have in our community. The Broome Firefighters Association is made up of volunteers and paid firefighters throughout the county. We'll introduce you to tonight's recipient after the game. A Stamford man is charged with DWI after an incident involving a snowmobile in mid-February in Delaware County. According to the Delaware County Sheriff's Office, they responded to a complaint of a snowmobiler operating on private property on County Highway 18. When they arrived, they found the snowmobile stopped in the roadway. The operator was identified as 60-year-old Robert Fox. An investigation determined that he was intoxicated while operating it. He was arrested and charged with DWI, driving with a .08 of 1% or more of alcohol, obstructing governmental administration, and a traffic ticket for displaying an out-of-date registration. And coming up on Fox 40 News after the break, we'll tell you about a carnival for a cause coming up this weekend. Plus, it's Friday, which means we're due for a lesson in Broome County history. Those stories and more after the break.
By UHS.
Welcome back. The 6th annual Cooperpalooza Carnival will take place this weekend at Touch of Texas on Upper Front Street. The carnival-style fundraiser will benefit Super Cooper Saves the Day, a nonprofit organization that raises money to help families who have a child battling cancer. Super Cooper was created in honor of Cooper, a 4-year-old boy with Down syndrome who battled leukemia. He was known for his infectious smile and laugh, and the event aims to spread happiness in honor of his memory.
This event in particular brings together so many different people from the community. It takes a village, and we have such a great community here. So we have over a dozen different organizations and groups that come together at Cooperpalooza to put things on, like the cotton candy and the snow cones and the carnival games. And they're all organizations that mean a lot to us, and they're giving back in Cooper's honor too.
The event runs from 12 to 4 p.m. at 1240 Upper Front Street with free admission provided by Apollo Heating. Tonight we continue our segment on sharing some of Broome County's past. Delivering that news for us now is Broome County historian Roger Luther, brought to you by UHS.
100 years ago today, construction started this afternoon on the new merry-go-round building at Recreation Park. Merry-go-round is a gift to the city from Mrs. Lillian Johnson Sweet and was manufactured by the Allen Herschel Company of North Tonawanda. C. Fred Johnson has pledged $500 toward the fund being raised here in support of the Triple Cities Baseball Club in the State League. A total of 158 children are now being cared for in the Susquehanna Valley home. 2 of Willis Sharp Kilmer's thoroughbred horses have been entered in this year's Kentucky Derby. And finally, a Binghamton man reported that someone stole the windshield from his automobile last night while it was parked on Hawley Street. And that was the news, March 7th, 1925.
New at 6, snow showers around tonight, plus the winds back down a little, but a chilly weekend ahead. Your forecast
6. Now, Chief Meteorologist Mark Torello and your Fox 40 weather forecast.
Nice to see all that sunshine this Friday afternoon, and we'll keep it dry for this evening. It's the overnight tonight. Some snow showers will reach out to us with maybe a dusting or a slight coating of snow. It's possible. A chilly weekend on the way for your Saturday and your Sunday, but this is what we've been waiting for. Spring-like temperature readings as we head into next week. That's when readings will be going above normal as we talk about some 40s, some 50s, even 60s within reach, at least for a day or two. Here's a look at the 5-day high temperature readings as we press ahead. Chilly for the weekend, 30s to near 40 degrees, and then a nice step up in temperature here as we go into next week. Notice on Monday, mid-50s, mid-60s on the way for Tuesday, low 50s looking likely for Wednesday. So next week is shaping up to be the warmest week so far this year. Well, we had some clouds, even a few snow flurries earlier this morning, and then increasing amounts of sunshine, just like we advertised as we went through the afternoon. Still holding on to some clear sky, but you look further off to the west, the clouds are beginning to collect, and these clouds will reach out to us for this evening, and then the snow showers will follow as we go through the overnight for tonight. They'll be advancing from the north and from the west, so we'll have a little bit of unsettled weather, maybe a few slippery roadways overnight tonight, mainly beyond midnight. So let's track the weather on Futurecast. Again, we'll keep it all dry for this evening. The clouds will slowly be on the increase, and then as we go through the overnight for tonight, snow showers looking likely. This is Futurecast around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you can see that blue showing up across our local area. It's not going to last all that long. Could see a leftover snow flurry early on Saturday morning, but the trend will be for a mix of sun and clouds for your Saturday. Those winds are going to be coming in from the northwest. They're going to be rather busy as well, say around 25, 30 miles per hour throughout the day. So that will make it feel even colder for a Saturday. And then as we go into Sunday, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky or some limited sun. I think the clouds are going to have the upper hand for the balance of your Sunday. Temperature readings not as cold. We'll get up close to 40 degrees by Sunday afternoon. And by the way, just as a reminder, this is the weekend, friends, for the clock change. So before you go to bed Saturday night, don't forget to turn those clocks 1 hour ahead. The good news, we're talking about later sunsets as a result. Take a look at this. Sunset times. Sun going down on Sunday at 7:03 after the clock change. On March 20th, the start of spring, sunset at 7:16. And look at this, for the start of summer on June 20th, our sunset time will be at 8:43. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Here's a live look outside right now, courtesy of our Miller Auto Team Sky Cam. We're holding on to a little bit of clear sky. All is dry. 32 is our temperature reading right now at the Binghamton Airport. The winds are from the northwest at 9 miles per hour. Visibility, A-OK. Here's a look at more temperature readings. 37 showing up in Owego. 32 right now if you're watching us in Oneonta. Matching that in Norwich. It is 32 in Cortland. We've got 39 in Waverly. Towanda at 40 degrees. We'll zoom you in. Take a look at some of the hometowns. We've got 33 in Whitney Point as well as Newark Valley. 33 in Deposit. 35 right now in Halstead. 37 in Appalachian and 38 degrees in Nichols. So your forecast for tonight, mostly cloudy, some developing snow showers, mainly for the overnight period. Lows tonight near 24 degrees. Some of the roadways could be a little slippery going into early Saturday morning. Now for your Saturday, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds, breezy conditions, highs approaching 32. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast as we plan ahead. Limited sun on Sunday, highs approaching 40, but our sunset going down just after 7 p.m. Monday and Tuesday, mostly sunny and noticeably warmer. Mid-50s on Monday, mid-60s on Tuesday. May have a little bit of a cough on Tuesday. Maybe have to play a little hooky. But you did hear that from me, okay? Wednesday, near 52, mostly cloudy. Mid-50s on Thursday and near 58 degrees on Friday. That's my latest forecast for now, but stay tuned. Thomas Turgeon's next with sports.
6. Now, Sports Director Thomas Turgeon and your Fox 40 Sports Report.
It's March Madness time for the Binghamton Bearcats men's basketball team as they get set to begin the postseason this upcoming weekend, facing their longtime rival in the opening round. Binghamton will face the UAlbany Great Danes on the road on Saturday in the opening round of the America East tournament. The Bearcats would knock off the Danes on the road just about a month ago. The thing is, though, UAlbany would do the same thing back to Binghamton in January. So a split this season between the two sides, and that's been common for BU, going 1-1 against 7 of their 8 conference opponents this year. Head coach Lavelle Sanders speaking on the status of the tournament as a whole beginning this weekend.
That's been kind of the story the last few years with America East. Is just, it's a really competitive, all of the teams seem like they can win on any given night. And I think more so this year, that's true because, everybody's, taking, a couple of losses, a lot of close games throughout the year. And so I think the conference tournament is going to be the same.
Meanwhile, the Bearcats softball team continues their down south non-conference schedule this weekend with the JMU Invitational. Binghamton taking game 1 in a grand slam by Rachel Carey in the bottom of the 6th. That would be the game winner to get them an 8-7 win. Emma Lawson going 2 for 3 from the dish, while Olivia Kennedy threw 12 strikeouts in the win. As for game 2, Nice kind to the Bearcats an 8-0 shutout against the host Duke. Santos would continue her hot start going 2 for 3. However, Binghamton would be held off the board as they take on JMU again and Radford in a doubleheader on Saturday. And that's all for sports tonight. Fox 40 News continues right after this.